We're going to continue where we left off. We're learning from the Zohar. We're still in Parashat Shelach, even though we're already way past Shelach, but we're still in the same concept, no point of skipping and not concluding it. If you want to follow, we're on page 159b, Kuf Nun Tet Amud Bet. I really don't want to elaborate on everything that we learned in the last 5 classes, but very, very briefly, we were presented by Rabbi Yehuda a question asking Rabbi Abba, what's the point of creating the world? What's the point of creating the world? And a man will sin, a man, a woman will sin, they'll get punished for that, leave the world, come back to the world. That was the main question that we were asking. There was a few answers that weren't necessarily sufficient. And now Rabbi Abba feels the obligation to tell Rabbi Yehuda, you asked, you came, you did the effort, now let me teach you a little bit about why really the world was created. And we went into a few areas where the Zohar, Rabbi Abba explains different things, why the Kadosh Baruch Hu found it so important to create this world and everything around it. Since we're going through one ma'amar, very hard to really summarize the whole thing. We already did 9 or 10 classes. So if you're joining us now, then you have 2 options: staying confused or watching the videos online. They're all online. You can watch them. I just don't want to take our time from our short period to go and recap everything. And anyways, if we need to, we'll go back. And again, you want to follow, we are on a page 159b, Daf Kuf Nun Tet Amud Bet. The line starts with Amar Rabbi Shimon. And before that, there's a short commentary by the Matok from Dvash that I want to read because that will help us connect the previous part and this part. And it says as follows: when there's a Et Ratzon, an auspicious time, and we were talking here, if you remember before, about Shabbat, we were explaining the idea of Shabbat, Tshuva of Shabbat. So it says, Ki tzorech gamur ve'echrachu briat ha'odam ba'olam hazeh. There's a great need for the creation of man in this world. She'im lo haya nivra adam, if man, when it says man, it means Adam, a human, would not be created in this world, and he's calling it ha'olam ha'shafel hazeh, this low and degraded, dirty world, אז כל אותם הנשמות הנולדות מייחודים עליונים של פרצופי עולמות בריאה, יצירה ועשייה, מה היה נעשה בהם? Then what would happen to all the souls that would be created from unity in the worlds above, in the world of בריאה, יצירה and עשייה, when there's unity between the Sfirot and souls are being created, what would happen to these souls? Where would they go? והיכן יתלבשו? Where would the souls get dressed? After all, the soul needs to get dressed in something. It can't just be a soul without a garment. They can't stay as they are when they're created. Where exactly? In the world above. How? Without a garment. Soul cannot be without a garment. By the way, we elaborated on that in other classes, that the soul must have a garment. That's why in this world, we also wear garments. One of the many reasons. In the world above, there's no actions that the soul can follow or do. And of course, there's no main action, which is cheshbon. There's no calculation, there's no contemplation, there's no challenges. And most of all, en sachar ve'onesh. There's no reward and punishment, and this is all referring to the world above. Ve'lo nivru neshamot levatala. The souls were not created for vain. There's a reason for that. Only for them to acquire mitzvot and good deeds. Here we can conclude the whole thing. We say every day, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל, לפיכך הרבה להם תורה ומצוות. Right? שנאמר, השם חפץ למען צדקו, יגדיל תורה ויאדיר. We say that every day. What is the concept behind it? I explained that in depth in a previous class. That before the world was created, the souls were surrounded the master of the universe, and they're receiving a great godly revelation and enjoying this great godly revelation, which we will never fathom as human beings. And at some point they felt embarrassed that the Kadosh Baruch Hu is giving them and giving them and giving them. The Zohar calls it Nehama Diksufa, bread of shame, like a poor person that comes every day, knocks on the door, and you give him a bag of food. So they told Hashem, we want to do something for you. And Hashem says, no problem. I will create a world. I will create bodies. I will put your souls into bodies. I'll give you a long list of mitzvot to do. That way you earn your reward. And each one will earn according to their hard work. Whatever you do, that's what you get. You worked a lot, you'll be here. Work less, you'll be here. Fair? No? We signed the deal, and before we know it, the world was created. But really, it's good for us. Because we were in a very high level, spiritually, before all the worlds were created. But we had the yearn and the desire to go to a higher place. And Hashem says, you want to go to a higher place? You want to receive a greater godly revelation? Which I'm putting in quotation marks. We have no idea what it even means, this godly revelation. We can talk about it as much as we want. We will never, as human beings, understand what it means, pleasure from a godly revelation, or what's a godly revelation, period. But nevertheless, the souls wanted a greater revelation. So Hashem says, I'm sorry, you reached your max. You have to upgrade your hard drive. You only have 1 terabyte of space. You need now 10 terabytes of space. So I need to create for you a new vessel, a greater capacity. How do you do that? Then you're going to have to earn it. רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל. לזכות means to give a zchut, to give merit. Zohar says, don't read it lezakot. Rather read it lezakech. Lezakech means to purify, to elevate, to refine. Now you're more refined and elevated, by default you'll get a greater godly revelation. So we had to go through this whole Ferris wheel to go down, up, down, up. Eventually it will pay off. Now let's continue, let's see what Rabbi Shimon says. Amar Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon said, מפרשתה דאול לפנה רזה דחוכמתה. Now, don't forget, we're in Parashat Shelach. Both Israel and the diaspora already passed it, but now, nevertheless, we're still focusing on our 40 days. Parashat Shelach is a main part of the Tikkun. What happened in Parashat Shelach? The spies, of course. What does it says? המרגלים למדנו סוד חוכמת התורה. The spies teaches us a great secret in the wisdom of the Torah. והשתמעו מן הרזין אלוהין ויקירין. Now you can look at the sin that they did. We can look at the Chilul Hashem that they did. But we also see some secrets behind it. After all, really, if we want to give them some credit, they were great people. We're not great people when we sin. So they're great people when they sin. But everybody has a Yetzer Hara. Nevertheless, let's see what's the supreme exalted secrets that we can learn from that. And not only that, we can learn what's called a Musar Haskel, a message, a real strong, deep message from a story. Ve'azil. Now, let's see. Tachazi, come and see. Kucha Brichu, Meshabcha Beoraita. The Kadosh Baruch Hu, how does his name get greater and Mishtabeach B'Torah means that his name becomes more great with the Torah. You have another? Well, the Kadosh Baruch Hu, Shmo Mishtabeach, the Torah makes the name of Hashem greater. Let's put it that way. Ve'amar, and he said, who did he say it to? To the nation of Israel. Azilu be'orchai, ishtadlu be'pulchanai. Please, my nation, go in my path and work really hard in the job, in the work, in the labor that I give you, which is following the Torah. Veha ana me'ayel lechon le'almin tavin le'almin ilayin. If you do that, if you walk in my path and you work hard in what I tell you to do, I will bring you not only to higher worlds, but to better worlds. Hainu, what are these worlds that Hashem is talking about? Gan Eden HaTachton veGan Eden Elyon. A lower level Gan Eden and a higher level Gan Eden. Bnei Nasha de lo mehemnei la yadei v'lo mistaklei. Human beings that don't believe, that don't know, they don't ponder and meditate on the reward of the tzaddikim, of righteous people, beGan Eden b'olam haba. A lot of people, you tell them, there's a world to come. But you know that you get a reward and the tzaddikim, they sit in Gan Eden. I know, stop with this nonsense already. That's what a lot of people believe, unfortunately. Kul shabrichu amar, the Kadosh Baruch Hu says, Azilu alilu hu al matava. Go and look, and he's using here a very interesting word. Azilu, go. Alilu means latur, is to search. We just learned that an hour ago with lo taturu achei einechem. So it says, go and search, or better to say, research, or investigate, or spy the world. But which world? That good world. So he sent them to Eretz Israel, but he's telling them, go and search this good world that I'm talking about. What is this good world that I'm talking about? That's the Olam Elyon. That's the world above. Not this boring world. Meaning, in saying in other words, Atem yecholim lizkot behem. You can merit this high exalted world. Al yedei limud Torah v'kiyum mitzvot. You want a free pass into Gan Eden? Then if you learn Torah and fulfill the mitzvot, you will gain entrance. V'zeu shlach lecha anashim. That's why Hashem says, send for you men, that they should research, investigate what? Eretz Canaan, the land of Canaan. Which is really what is Canaan, land of Canaan? Eretz she'adam mekabel shem sachar. The land where you get a reward. Reward for what? Al ma shenichna ba'avodah ba'olam hazeh. For the fact that you were able to subdue the yetzer, the desire in this world. I'll give you a reward. Kadosh Baruch Hu gave us a weight. Some people have a 20 kilo weight, some people have a 100 kilo weight, but Hashem gave us a weight. Now pick it up. So this is a metaphor, but Hashem gave us a yetzer hara. He gave us a desire. One person desires food, another one desires a woman, another one desires money, another one desires all three together. There has to be resistance. Now imagine Hashem would send us here to Club Med. We would sit all day long and sip on pina coladas. What are we going to do here? We're not doing anything. Hashem says, no, I registered you to a fancy gym. You can't just sit in the gym and sit like this. Nothing's going to happen. And even if you wave your hands, nothing's going to happen. You need resistance. If you're going to sit in the gym and try to go like this, nothing's going to happen. You need to put weight on. That's the yetzer hara. That's the te'ava. Now, if you surrender to the desire, right? I mean, in Hebrew it sounds different. In English, actually, when you say surrender, it means I give in to the desire. Here it says, Al ma shenichna ba'avodah. Here you surrender to the Torah by resisting the desire. Inun amrei, they say, Ech nechu le'allala le'uleminda kol hai. How can we go and investigate or spy this land and really know the great reward that we're going to get, that you said that you're going to get us? Imagine now I would have a conversation with Hashem, and Hashem would tell me, listen, if you follow the Torah, I will give you a free pass to Gan Eden. So I can come and argue and say, how do I know? How do I know? I mean, I don't know, I never saw you. How do I know you're really going to give it to me? Maktiv, what does it says? Alu ze b'negev. It says about them that they came from the Negev. The Negev is a desert, is a southern part of the land of Israel. But the Negev means that they came from the side, the right side. Saying in other words, ishtadlu be'oraita. They really tried to work in the Torah, to approach the Torah in the right way, to learn the Torah, to save it. As it says, and this is why they came from the right side, because the Torah was given with Hashem's right hand. How do we know? It says in the Torah, mi'emino esh dat lamo. From his right side, the Torah came with fire. Not only that, vod alu ze b'negev. They went up in the Negev, which is kind of a question because the Negev is kind of flat. Where did they come up from? Obviously, they came up from some mountains from the south. But what does it mean? That's what we spoke about before. How do you go up from the Negev? Negev is the name of the desert. But you can also read the letters as Niguv. Niguv is to wipe or to dry. If I'm coming out of a shower and I'm wet, what would you say in Hebrew? Lenagev et atzmecha. Wipe yourself. So he says, Negev, shetiyum menugavim veyeveshim. That you'll be wiped and dry. What does it mean? That you prevent from yourself to fall into the desires and the lust of this physical world. If you do that, you'll merit the Torah. V'techemun, not only that, you're going to be able to see and to to comprehend or to really see with their own eyes the reward of the tzaddikim. Deha hi kaima kaimaichu, that the Torah is there for you. It's for free. Don't have to pay for the Torah, and just come and learn. Bo'u ut kama tov avaya. Come and see how good it is. As it says, kilo b'shamayim here. The Torah is not in the heavens. The Torah was given to us. You know what the prosecution was with the angels? Why are they getting the Torah? I'm sure you remember the story when Moshe Rabbeinu went up to the Shamayim. All the angels gathered to see, there's a human here. How did he come here? And Moshe Rabbeinu, of course, comes with all the honor and respect. Hashem sits him right next to him. All the angels, they're not happy with the situation. They say, Yelud Isha, a human that came out of a woman, is here. It's not a place for him. Hashem says, he came to take the Torah. The Torah? What? Yeah, I'm going to give them the Torah. He's taking it down. What? Right away, filed a lawsuit. Took some few good Jewish lawyers and filed a lawsuit. No, we consent. We don't agree. Why is he getting the Torah? So now Moshe Rabbeinu was in a problem because Hashem told him, Moshe, tell them why you're getting the Torah. And Moshe, me? Why would I tell them? Moshe said, it says that he was afraid to get close. They'll burn me. I'll just get close to these huge angels. They'll burn me. So Hashem told him, don't worry, put your hand on my chair and give them a good answer. So Moshe Rabbeinu came and told them, okay, let's see. The Torah we're giving it. Let's see what it says in the Torah. So it says, Lo yelech elokim acharim al panai. You should not have any other gods but me. So he turns to the angel and tells him, you have a problem with idolatry? You see the Kadosh Baruch Hu with your eyes. You're never going to have another God but God. And then he starts going through the 10 Commandments. And he says, Lo taseh lecha pesel, don't make yourself a statue. He says, you can make a statue, you have the Kadosh Baruch Hu in front of your eyes. Then he goes, you should observe Shabbat. He says, Shabbat? How can you observe Shabbat in the heavens? And you should honor your parents. He says to the angels, you have parents? We have parents. Then, Lo tirtzach, don't commit murder. You can commit murder. We can commit murder. And then he goes, Lo tinaf, lo tignov, don't steal, don't commit adultery. He says, I'm sorry to tell you, angels, this has nothing to do with you. And how does the 10 Commandments start? I am God, your God that took you out of Mitzrayim. He took you out of Mitzrayim. Took us out of Mitzrayim. That's it. Concluded, the Torah belongs to us. Case is adjourned. Torah came down, and Moshe Rabbeinu brought it down to this world. Now, the Shamayim, they don't have the Torah. You know that all the angels and souls, they come here to listen to Torah. They have to listen to Chidushei Torah in this world. So Hashem says, I gave the Torah here. Lo b'shamayim here. It's not in the heavens. It's here. That's why one of the worst sins is to have the Torah accessible and you don't do nothing with it. This is called Bitul Torah. Don't think for 1 second, if you're watching a stupid movie on Facebook for 20 minutes, this is Bitul Torah, because that movie is not giving you any benefit in this world. This is 100% Bitul Torah. Don't say, I need to unwind. Once I met one guy and I told him, why don't you learn when you come home? I need to unwind. Unwind? So read a page of Gemara. You'll unwind 10 times better than watching some comedy. Nevertheless, Hashem says, don't go searching the Torah in the Shamayim. It's right here. It's for you. Take. It's free. כי קרוב אליך הדבר מאוד, בפיך ובלבבך לעשותו. It's so close to you, this Torah, הדבר הזה, this Torah, it's so close to you. It's in your mouth, in your heart, and you can follow the Torah. Umina tin only, and from the Torah, then you're going to know the reward of the tzaddikim. Or you think I'm going to give you the information for free? Here, take the Torah. Sit and learn the Torah. Then you're going to know the sachar, the reward for the tzaddikim. וזה שכתוב עלו בנגב, and when it says about the spies that they come up from the Negev, it says ועליתם את ההר, and it should climb the mountains. I don't know exactly where they came from. I mean, I've been to the Negev a few times. I don't know which mountain it's talking about. Maybe one of the mountains. But it says here, when you go on the mountain, David HaMelech explains it to us and says, Mi ya'aleh behar Hashem. You want to come to Hashem? That's climbing a mountain, my friend. And who's going to reach the top of the mountain? Naki chapayim ubar levav. That your hands are clean from any type of sin and your heart is pure. That's climbing the mountain. What is this climbing the mountain? Shehu soda Gan Eden. This is the secret of Gan Eden. And by the way, the secrets are not between the words. But when you learn the Torah over and over for years and you refine yourself and you don't have dirty hands from sins and your heart is pure, the answer comes in an indirect way. It doesn't come straight. You're not going to find in a book anything. A lot of people tell, give me the answers. I want to know. There's no way to know. Sit and learn the Torah. No, give me the short version. There's no short version. You have to learn Torah because the Torah opens your heart. That's why we say 3 times a day when we conclude Tfilat Shmona Esrei, Ptach libi betoratecha, open my heart with your Torah, u'bemitzvotecha tirdof nafshi, that with your mitzvot, that my soul should pursue the mitzvot. The Torah is not going to reveal to you exactly what's going on in the world above. The Torah is going to be the key that opens your perception of the world to the world above. What do you think a prophet is, or a great tzaddik? The Torah is a trampoline, so to say, to throw him so high that when he reaches to the high altitude, then the perception, he understands what goes in the world above. So when he comes down, with trampoline, you go up, you always come down. There's no going up and staying up. So you always go down. And when you come down to the world, if it's a prophet or a great tzaddik, then he pulls some information from the world above. What is this information? His perception. What he gathered in the world above. So the Torah, the Kadosh Baruch Hu says, you want to know what's the reward to the world to come? I mean, after all, the Mishnah says, Al ta'avdu et harav al menat lekabel pras. Don't serve the master in order to get a reward. Right? I mean, a lot of people say, listen, I'll do the Torah. I know I'm going to get a check at the end of the day. Not too long ago, when I became observant, then my family wasn't so excited about this whole transition. And the only one that was happy about it was my father. After all, I was a big troublemaker. So he says, if this is going to make a mensch out of you, I'll take this. So he accepted it. Years later, my mom tagged along, but my sister was not happy with the situation. And when she questioned me, you really doing it? It's not temporary, right? I said, no, this is permanent. So she says, I'm going to sit Shiva. So I said, well, at least it's a Jewish concept. So something good here. So my sister is convinced that I'm totally off the edge, that I lost my mind, that I'm completely cuckoo. And listen, it takes a lot to keep the connection, and I don't want to cut the connection, but nevertheless, I'll tell you a quick story that a few years ago I get a phone call. I lived at the time in America, and I get a phone call from my sister. Hi, how are you? Baruch Hashem. She tells me, listen, we're coming to New York, me, my husband, and the boys, and we want to visit you. Okay, great. Sounds like a great idea. When are you coming? Pesach. Pesach? You couldn't find another time to come? No, that's the only time when we have off work. I'm like, Mom, now the time. You're coming to me in the most extreme week when we peel tomatoes and we look with a magnifying glass for a microscopic crumb. Now I need you in my house. How am I going to deal with this right now? Okay, I said, okay. I thought about it. Called my rabbi, told me, listen, it's a great opportunity. Invite her to your home. I mean, tell her the restrictions, but invite her to the home and show her a beautiful Yahadut, the Judaism is. So I told her, listen, you can come, you're more than welcome to come, but this is the conditions. You can't bring chametz into the house, you can't do this, you can't do that, outside do whatever you want. And she agreed. So she came to our house, and Bemet was a week, unbelievable week. First time in her life, she lit candles, she ate kosher the whole time when she was with us. She heard Kiddush, we put tzitziot on her boys, they put tzedakah, we gave them a week boot camp. Okay. The week finished, Pesach is over, we started peeling the foil off the walls, and we wanted to go get something to the kids. We go, my sister and me, by ourselves to some convenience store, whatever, we buy some ice cream for the kids. And we have a heart-to-heart talk. And in the heart-to-heart talk, she tells me, between us, there's nobody here now, don't worry. Between us, you really believe in all this nonsense? And I tell her, you just saw the most extreme week of the year where we are so cautious of every little crumb. We go cuckoo over this holiday. And you think that this is coming from anything but belief? What do you think, tomorrow I'm going to the shul, I'm getting a check from the rabbi for observing the holiday? This is 100% belief. It's only emunah. It's nothing else. There's no common sense here. And even that she couldn't fathom. So the Torah can only come when you believe. It cannot come from common sense. Torah cannot be explained to somebody. Many people come and contradict the Torah, and you tell them, but there's a higher world. There's a soul. The soul came from somewhere. It goes back somewhere. There's eternal life for the soul. There's a world to come. There's a creator. There's this, there's that. And some people in the limited mind say, you need to see a psychiatrist. What you're saying doesn't even make sense. You are crazy. Now, how do you convince a person like that? You can't. The Torah cannot be taught. The Torah has to be experienced. The Kadosh Baruch Hu says, you want to see the secrets of the world above, then learn Torah. You can only accept this concept if you learn Torah, but you have to learn Torah day and night. This is not coming for a 10-minute class. Now, if a person will dive into the Torah in a very serious way, it will take 3 months, half a year. At some point, the light bulb, I was about to say, the barriers of the consciousness open, and you start having all these aha moments. Now I get it. It's not going to happen any other way, because the mind, the heart, the soul, everything is coarse. It has to be broken with the Torah. So now he continues and he says, "Uritem et haaretz mahi." This is what he says, what the text says to the spies. Go to the land and you'll see what it is. Hainu, meaning, Techemun mina hahu alma. If you go into this land, you will perceive what it means by the Torah, what is the spiritual world. Some people think that if they sit on the floor and do then they're spiritual. And some people have a wrong misconception what is being spiritual. The Torah will teach you really what it means to be spiritual. Most people don't get it right. But it says, if you dive into the Torah, and really in the beginning when you dive into the Torah, there's nothing spiritual here. It's talking about basic things between me and you, lawsuits, if you start learning halakha. It doesn't talk about lofty stuff. But nevertheless, the only way to perceive and to have some type of understanding of the spiritual world, it can only be done through the Torah. Meaning, what do I need to perceive? The concept of Gan Eden. Now, you might be observant 20 years. Can you explain to me what's Gan Eden? I'm not talking about the Garden of Eden, what the Hallmark is presenting Adam and Eve, and Eve is a beautiful blonde woman, and Adam is a muscular guy. They're eating apples. This is nonsense. This is not Gan Eden. This is some fake invention. Can you explain to me what Gan Eden? You're sitting in yeshiva for 20 years. I can't explain to you what Gan Eden is. I can tell you Gan is a garden and Eden is Eden. Well, Eden, the word Eden in Hebrew is pleasure, ta'anug. A very high level of ta'anug, of pleasure that we can't even understand. But if you want to understand a little bit what it means Gan Eden, not only what it is, the levels of Gan Eden and the virtues of Gan Eden, that can only be done through the Torah. And not only that, then you can understand the reward of the tzaddikim, of the righteous people. Deha yehuta de'achasna de'ana ayel lechuba. Gan Eden is an inheritance. If I have a land or property and I leave it to my kids, they inherit that. Same thing here. Gan Eden, we inherit it. We receive it. We get it. Here, there's a commentary that the Gaon from Vilna, the Gra, says, Gan Eden hu haaretz asher nishba kadosh baruch hu laavotenu latet lanu, hu eretz hachaim. The land that the Master of the universe promised Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov is not here, this strip in the Mediterranean. Is Gan Eden. That's the Yerusha. Of course, we're getting the physical land, but really the promise, the famous promise of Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, that's Gan Eden. That's the world above. That's why we inherit Gan Eden. Ve'et ha'am hayoshev ba. Now it says in the text, go and search the land and look at the nation who sits there. Inun tzadikaya deveginta de'eden. Who is the nation that sits in that land, in Gan Eden? These are the tzaddikim, the righteous people that receive their reward in Gan Eden. And by the way, when it says tzaddikim, We imagine Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the Baal Shem Tov, the Rizal, whatever, and thousands of others. This is correct, but there's many other souls that are not known in the books of tzaddikim. Rather, they won the court case. In order to be called a tzaddik, you don't have to necessarily be the Rizal. It means that you come to your case and you end up winning it. Yatsa tzodek badin. He won the case. So he's considered a tzodek. Same letters, tzodek, tzaddik, is exact same letters, just different punctuation. So the tzaddikim that are sitting in Gan Eden, it's not only Rabbi Nachman from Breslev and the Baal Shem Tov and the Ari HaKadosh and all the rest of these great tzaddikim. It's a person that came to the heavenly court and was able to plead the case, and maybe he was found 85% good, 15% not too good, but the 15% was like not so big things, and somehow there was some merits pulling some strings, and whoop, Yatzat Tzodek Badin. And he won the case. Go to Gan Eden. For the 15%, you might get a little slap in Genom, wash this junk off. We spoke about it 2 classes ago. You're going to have to jump into this river of fire, a boiling hot mikveh, only 6,000 degrees, nothing really serious, but it washes off all the sins, all the junk. Go to Gan Eden. And I'm sure you heard not once and not twice hundreds of stories that a great tzaddik came to the heavens and they told him, you're 99.9% good, but one little problem, you have to go back to this world. Or you can get a 99.9% Gan Eden. And of course the decision of the neshama, well, no, you're not taking a piece of my Gan Eden. I'm going to go back and I'll fix it. So he says, when he says to the spies, go and search and investigate the land, go and investigate Gan Eden. And you'll find out who's the nation, who are the people who are sitting there, the tzaddikim. The kaiman shurin, that they're standing there in lines, in rows. Bikara ila'a, in a great honor and respect. Bedargin ilayin, and each one is positioned depending to their level. Kol echad kefi hamagiya lo, every person according to his level. Ve'amar, and he says 3 words. It calls it 3 tongues, shalosh gimel leshonot, keneged gimel teivot, corresponding to 3 words. Ha'am hayoshvim alea, the nation that sits on it. That's why he said shurin, rose, bikara ilaha, kavod, very great honor, bedargin ilayin, in different levels. So he's connecting the 3 levels through the 3 words. Should I leave you on the cliff tonight? Yeah, I think I'm going to have to leave you on the cliff again because we came to our time. But just to conclude, we'll continue tomorrow. But he's basically saying, in other words, he's taking the verse of the beginning of the parasha, and he says, ignore right now the people that went into the land of Israel and spoke Lashon Hara about the land. Take the text out of its context. Look at the concept for a second. You want to know if there's a Olam Haba? You want to know that you're not doing this for nothing? You have doubts in your heart? You are not 100% sure if you're going to reach somewhere in the world to come? Then dive into the Torah. Where can you find the Torah? In the land. Go and search the land. Lechu taturu et haaretz. Go and investigate and search. Go to the Torah. Are you willing to miss the opportunity? So put half a year of your life. Learn the Torah, but really learn it. Now you're not going to get answers from the Torah, but the Torah will open your consciousness. You'll see it by yourself. And eventually, if you continue growing in the Torah, you will see exactly what's going on. That this is a very short stop, literally like a blink of an eye, literally like a dream. You pass through this world, you have 60, 70, 80 years. Now what are you doing in these 60, 70, 80 years? You have to grab mitzvot here. Why? Because that's going to be your reward in the world to come. Even though our sages say, don't serve the master in order to get a reward. Do it with a full heart. Do it with a fear of Hashem. And I told you already a few times, God-fearing, fear of Hashem, Yirat Shamayim, is not that I'm afraid of the Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's a misconception. The fear is to be separated from the Kadosh Baruch Hu. I'm not afraid of Hashem. If he wants, he'll go like this, and I don't exist even. What kind of this is not the approach. Yirat Shamayim, when I need God-fearing, is that I'm afraid that I will be separated from the master of the universe. That I'll be afraid of my connection to my source of life. That's the fear. Not a fear that I'm going to get a slap to my face. That's why it says first has to be fear, then love. Because my fear is not to be separated from the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Then I can develop love because I'm already in the realm of the Kadosh Baruch Hu. So, in order to reach to that level, it can only be done when I dive into the Torah and I let go from everything else. Then I can understand, wait a minute, this is a very short path here, a very short journey. I'm sure you heard the term, Misha tarach b'Shabbat, yuchal b'Shabbat. You toiled and you worked before Shabbat, then you'll have what to eat. And if you didn't, then you didn't. You're not going to have what to eat. I think in America they say you sleep how you set the bed, something like that, right? Something along this line. You set... Yeah, you made the bed how? You made the... You sleep in the bed how you made it. Whatever, you know, you understood the idea. The what? What? Okay, whatever, there's all these versions. You got the point. The point is that you eat, you cook, you eat what you cook. Yeah, I mean, we can now sit here now for another 10 minutes and come with all these one-liners. The point is that this world is the world of action, the world of asiyah. You do here, hayom la'asotam, u'machar lekaber scharam. Today you do, tomorrow, in the world to come, you get your reward. My reward is to be close to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. I don't need money, I don't need anything. I need to be close to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. We're going to continue Bli Neder Machar, Bezrat Hashem. Now we just need to internalize that when I need to understand, I mean, we all have doubts. Let's cut to the chase. We all have a problem with emunah. The fact that I wear a beard that's very nice of me, and I have a very nice yarmulke and a black suit, and I show up 3 times a day to pray, so nice of you. But when push comes to shove, a situation comes, the emunah flies out of the window. Or as I always say, when things go smooth, you believe, oh, Hashem is the best God. When something goes not so smooth, suddenly Hashem is not the best God anymore. Suddenly, no emunah. So we all have a problem with emunah. Let's face it. It all depends how extreme the test is. And now, moments before Hashem is coming back to this world, the kvetching machine of emunah is going to become more and more. We're all going to be faced with unbelievable challenges in emunah. The only way for me to blindly see the Torah and Hashem is only if I dive into the Torah. End of story. There's no any other method. So now the only remedy before the coming of the storm, you can call it the coming of Mashiach, coming of the storm, the return of Hashem to this world, call it however you want. But the only tzeidah, the only cargo, whatever, the only equipment I can take to me on this journey is if I dive with no questions into the Torah, understand, don't understand, it's hard for me to sit here, you need breaks between the classes, it doesn't matter. You have to devote yourself to the Torah. Because when you freestyle into the Torah, that's when your perception opens. That's when you see Hashem in everything. You see what's called the Hashgacha Pratit in everything, the divine providence. That's when you see it. And as they say, seeing is believing. I can tell you as much as I want about the world to come. You need to experience it. And there's only one gate to go through to experience it, and this is the Torah. And you have to toil in the Torah. It doesn't come so easy. You fall asleep in the class. I mean, the camera sees this direction. Sometimes I need to have the camera there. Oh, I'm sorry, no, I had a long day. It's not that you're boring. It's like... So obviously I have some type of special powers to put people to sleep. My wife always gives the babies to me. Here, you know how to put people to sleep. So we have to freestyle, into the Torah. And once you start learning the Torah and you investigate and you learn and you research, it's not that you're going to get an answer from the book, but the holiness, the kedusha of the Torah opens your spiritual eyes. Then you see really what's going on. You see the truth. You live it. You breathe it. Then you don't need so much explanations. You blindly go with the Kadosh Baruch Hu because you know this is the truth. Hashem emet, Torato emet. Everything is emet. That's what Korach's son screamed now in Parashat Korach. They all were swallowed into the ground. a little kach, a little cliff, came out and catch the sons of Korach because they did tshuva. And what did they scream from the bottom? Hashem emet, Moshe emet, v'Torato emet. Hashem is the truth, Moshe is the truth, the Torah is the truth. That's it. We have to admit, modeh al emet. Bezrat Hashem, when we admit the Kadosh Baruch Hu is the truth, everything will fall in the right place. We're not going to have any problems with emunah. We're just going to go through the shadow of the valley of death. Gam ki elech begetzer mavet, lo irara. I'm not going to have any fear. Why? Ki ata imadi. I know that you are right behind me. I will fall and you will catch. But that can only be done when you dive into the Torah. Bezrat Hashem, Hashem should help us to have the courage and the what's a nice word to say that?
Perseverance.
Perseverance. I was about to say something else, but to jump, to let go, just to jump into the Torah, let go, Kadosh Baruch Hu will catch you, don't worry. רבי חנניה בן הקשה אומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל, וכך הרבה להם תורה ומצוות שנאמר, אדוני חפץ למען צדקו יגדיל תורה וידעו.